Hello, we are in Antalya, Turkey at Bering Shipyard, and today we will give you a comparison of two different creatures, catamaran, Bering Cat 60, and a monohull, Bering 72. You may ask why we're comparing apple to orange, but it's a correct comparison. First of all, these crafts are similar in size. Yes, the Cat is shorter. It's 60 foot versus Bering 72 is 73 foot. However, beam of this Cat is 8.6 meters versus 6.5 for Bering 72. So it's shorter and beamier. Displacement is quite different. Bering 72 is 120 tons and Cat is 62 tons. The Bering 72 is twice heavier. However, volume is identical. With enclosed fly bridge, this Cat is 120 gross tons, exactly the same as Bering 72, 120 gross tons. Gross tons is a volume, as you remember. We're comparing pretty much the same size of craft, size as it appears to us, I mean volume. Let's talk about some differences. We already talked about the beam, and very important parameter is a draft. The Cat is a shallow draft, it's 1.4 meters. So a lot of places accessible on the Cat, which will not be accessible on Bering 72 because the draft of Bering 72 is 1.9 meters. It sounds not a big difference, half a meter. However, for places like Caribbean, on a Cat you can go day and night without looking at the depth. In most places you are above the coral heads, and on 72 you have to watch, and at night it's tricky to navigate some areas. Also, the Cats can go into inland, into rivers, shallow marinas, shallow waters. So it's more places is accessible on the Cat. Material-wise, the 72 is a steel hull and aluminum superstructure. The Cat is all aluminum. Aluminum is a great material, it's very sturdy, but sort of fragile. The 6mm steel is much stronger than 6mm aluminum. However, we have to watch the weight on the Cats because it's crucial. So Cats are naturally lighter. This Cat is much heavier than similar size fiberglass Cats. They generally under 40 tons. And this creature is 62 tons. Because of the nature of this Cat, it's an exploration Cat as well as Bering 72. And for an exploration, you need to pack more fuel, you have more machinery, and our interiors is also weighed a bit more because we do box and box interiors for sound dampening, for comfort. This Cat is on the heavy side in a Cat family. However, it's just a half of the weight of the monohull. We talk about draft, and let's talk about beam. The beam gives you ample space. You feel like you're on much bigger craft. This salon is enormous. The square meter wise, the Cat with enclosed fly bridge is a bit larger, 10% larger than Bering 72. So it's 120 square meters versus 105 square meters, all for interior space. The exterior space is pretty much similar, around 100 square meters for both. The Cat have more versatility in layouts. This Cat, we can have 4 staterooms, 5 staterooms, 6 staterooms. We can have galley down, galley up. We can have it with the crew, we can have it without crew, with a pantry storage room, without pantry storage room. It all depends on your needs. And both of these boats are excellent for owner-operator use and also for charter use. However, the Cats are more popular in charter fleets because of its flexibility, because you can pack more staterooms here, and comfort at the COM-C, unbeatable comfort. It's very stable platform, and people who are prone to seasick will feel great at the calm waters, nice harbors. There will be virtually no motion. Range. The Bering 72 almost double the range of this cat. This cat have a cross-Atlantic range of 3,000 miles, and Bering 72 is close to 6,000 miles. Yes, we're packing twice more fuel for that because machinery is pretty much identical, the power and everything. So there are a few options with, for the engines on this craft, but in general, it's in the vicinity of 400 horsepower per each side. And twin engines on 72 is also around 400 horsepower. Speaking of a beam, it's your ally, it's a comfort, it's a space. However, in many marinas, especially in Western Mediterranean, price for docking is based on the beam of the boat. So with the beam 8.6 meters, this boat is taking space of 120-foot vessel, and you will be charged as a 120-foot vessel. Some marinas, they charge per area, how many square meters it's occupied. For example, here in Turkey, that's the case. And in this case, these two crafts are pretty much similar. But generally, it's harder to find docking reasonably priced for the cat than for the monohull because of a beam. Again, it's give you comfort, space, but it might cost you much more than monohull. Speaking of comfort, both boats are comfortable. However, on the heavy sea, cats have more motion. Cats is incredibly stable craft. The metacentric height of the typical craft is up to 4 meters. And monohull 72, it's around 0.8 meters. It gives you a gentle motion, sort of slow motion. In combination with the heavy weight, it gives you a more comfortable motion at the heavy sea. Cats they don't have a stabilization system, and basically you're taking the angle of the wave. If it's a high seas, the motions are rather sudden, and you have to grab and you have to hold. On 72, your body can cope with the motion of the sea, motion of the craft. So it's more gentle. For exploration purposes, if you want to be free and reach any point on the planet, I would probably choose Bering 72. For comfort and ease of operation and ambience, because it's much more windows. You feel like you're at sea. Everything is open and a lot of outside areas. And 72 is more like sea-going craft with the smaller windows, with more enclosed areas, with a higher bulwark. So the whole purpose is to keep you safe and comfortable at the heavy seas in the long ocean crossing or long passages. So the window of weather for the 72 generally bigger than for this craft. Speaking about the same level of comfort. And again, we're comparing two different creatures, and some people are strictly monohull, some people are strictly cats. But a lot of people trying to choose between those two, especially because the price-wise, they're very, very similar. Machinery-wise, capability-wise, they have a lot of similarities. I would say if you have in mind long-range passages, remote locations, probably 72 is a better choice considering comfort at heavy sea. I would say the cat is more versatile as a layout choices. The Bering 72, we have 3 cabins plus crew. Here you can have up to 5 cabins plus crew or 6 cabins. So the cabins are good size, each of them accommodate queen size bed or 2 single beds. And again, we can choose where we're gonna position the storage, and it gives you much more flexibility without rising the cost. the craft. On the 72, we have just two versions of layout with the forward master or midship master. That's it. And 3 plus crew, or just 3 staterooms for the owner-operator. So when you're choosing between these two crafts, you have to take in consideration marina cost. It depends where you at, and you have to check what it will cost you to keep the catamaran versus the monohull. Catamaran have advantage because of the shallow draft, and we can be in some aquatorials like Caribbean. It's much easier to use this boat in the shallow waters than Bering 72. Now we are in Bering 72. As you can see, the beam is much smaller, so it gives you appearance of a smaller boat. However, it's longer and much heavier. It's twice heavier than Catamaran 60. Volume-wise, identical. Displacement-wise, this one is twice larger. It's 120 tons versus 62 tons. This craft is a true ocean-going vessel with a range exceeding 6,000 miles. You can be anywhere on the planet in safety and comfort. However, space-wise, they're identical, 120 gross tons, both. The square meter-wise, the 72 is a bit smaller, less than 10% of difference, interior and exterior space. Bering 72 have 2 layouts, both of them with 3 stateroom, and the forward stateroom layout can also accommodate the crew of 2 in the separate compartment. So it's basically 3 staterooms plus crew. And the Cat, it's 4, 5, 6 staterooms. You can choose 1 stateroom to use for the crew. However, both of this craft are perfect for owner-operator. 2 people can handle either one of them with ease, and visibility on both of these vessels is nearly 360 degrees from the pilot house. So here, I'm at the pilot house right now, you can see 360 degrees when you open the sliding door here and the sliding petition. Your visibility is awesome. And you, with the assistance of the cameras, you can see clearly your sights and your swim platform. Speaking of the charters, my opinion that Cats are more charterable. It's not surprised why most of the fleets in the world, charter fleets, are based on Cats. Gives you more space, and for the calm waters, it's a perfect craft. This boat is more for expedition style of usage, so you can go far away, you can go northern hemisphere, you can go any place on the planet. Another important factor, Cats are faster. The maximum speed of this boat is about 10.5 knots, and cruising speed is 8. And a Cat with the same power go faster. It's about 12.5 knots, and you can cruise at 10. It seems like it's not a big difference, but on the long distance, it's adding up. And if you like faster motion, if you want to get to destination quicker, the Cat is the better craft for this purpose. It's very hard to compare apples and oranges because a lot of people are very distinctive what they want. Some people are just Cat people and some people are monohull people, but some people somewhere in between, or they're not sure. And in this case, we're asking what is your purpose, where you want to use it, what you want to achieve, what waters you want to be in, and then we can advise one way or another. Taking in consideration that these crafts are very similar in price, it's definitely a choice of the purpose, what you buy in this boat for.